Well, what a rich boy you are. Daddy loaned you his brand new sports car for your summer vacation to hang out at a beach house with your friends. And on the way back home, you take a shortcut through back roads and get lost, run out of gas, and get stuck in a rainstorm. Pre-cell phone, so you have to get out and walk to a house to get help, and the only house around just happens to be an old castle. Of course. I read this book when I was in 6th grade, and I remember I really liked it, although after reading it now, I have to laugh at how easy it was to entertain a 6th grader. The Twistaplot series was Scholastic's answer to Choose Your Own Adventure, and back then I felt it was pretty much a second-rate imitation, but I definitely read them every chance I got anyway. I never thought the series was anywhere near as good as Choose Your Own Adventure or Endless Quest. Reading through Monster Mansion now, I'm tempted to say it's ridiculous, but I remember this book as being one of the better ones in the Twistaplot series. And honestly, it actually is kind of a fun little book for what it is. You get to wander through this creepy old castle and stumble into Frankenstein's monster, a mummy, a werewolf, a child vampire, the Invisible Man, and of course Dracula himself, known as Alucard. I thought this book was so cool when I was a kid that I lifted that idea for a story that I had to write for school. My main character was a vampire in disguise named Alucard, and I got a good grade for that. The teacher even complimented me on that. Thank you, Twistaplot. The basic synopsis of this story is that when you go knock on the door for help, it's answered by a butler that is meant to be the famous Igor character. He brings you inside, mistaking you for a TV repairman that they've called. Alucard introduces himself, and the butler insists that you drink some creepy, frothy brew. You can get hypnotized, have weird things done to you with a TV, run for it, and get lost within the castle, stumbling into various other monsters, find a kidnapped girl, a zombie waiting to do your bidding, and you might even find yourself landing in Bigfoot's arms. Yeah, Bigfoot. What the hell is Bigfoot doing in this story? Who cares? Throw him in there. Also, I like the way the page instructions are written with a sense of urgency or fear, telling you to turn to the page fast, or step on it, or hold your breath and then turn the page. So spooky. One of the funniest endings is you escaping with the zombie and taking him home with you, and then your friends are jealous because you have a zombie now. Another ending that made me laugh was escaping with Frankenstein's monster and calling the police for help. They pick you both up and take you to the station where you call your parents. And no mention is made about the big green monster you have in tow? Really? The cops didn't say anything about this? They just popped the guy into their car and brought him to the station like it's no big deal? Yeah, cops see this sort of shit all the time apparently. Must be that new meth on the streets. I actually have several other Twistaplot books, but not the whole series. It was short-lived. Only like 3 years and 18 books before Scholastic pulled the plug. Several of the Twistaplot books are written by R.L. Stine, a guy who went on to be famous for the Goosebumps series. I may read some of these other ones at some point, but I think Monster Mansion was probably one of the best ones. Also, the artwork is good as well, and the cover art is pretty damn sweet. This is definitely a book that you would have chosen just by the cover. Midnight at Monster Mansion was written by Steven Otfanowski, and I think it was probably his only book in the series. If so, he should have done more. The series could have used it. Twistaplot books may not have been the best, but there were a few good ones, and they certainly could have used a few more. Regardless of their status in my eyes as a kid, I bought every one that was on sale at my school book fair anyway. They're part of my past indeed. If you're looking to pick up a random Twistaplot book, this is probably the one you want.